Hi, my name is Patricia, and I'm going to talk about my internship experience at SOUVA Physical Therapy and Performance. So, my area of interest in exercise science kind of stemmed from the starting of my fitness journey back in high school. I knew I wanted to pursue a job in something that was fitness related and saw that being physically active kept me and keeps me mentally and physically healthy. So, entering college, I wanted to be a nurse. So, I went into the nursing route because I love to help people that were in need. And I kind of came to find out that I was not fond of being in that hospital setting. So I did more observations, got a physical therapy technician job, and then I also now obviously became an intern for Jake SOUVA. And I quickly realized my passion for physical therapy because it's like the perfect combination of fitness and helping others. I love being able to provide generations with knowledge on the body while keeping it sports specific. So, talking a little bit more about my internship, my supervisor's name is Jake SOUVA, and he opened his own business, hence my internship site, SOUVA Physical Therapy and Performance. Why I chose this site specifically, I could go on, but I have listed a few. So I chose this site because SOUVA Physical Therapy and Performance works a lot with athletes that have been injured and they were not really sufficed with the results from a regular outpatient clinic. I also chose the site because I wanted to see the combination of what I think my true meaning of fitness and therapy is, and he showed exactly what I expected and more. I love the fact that he was located inside a gym and that he had access to this equipment with his patients instead of just using a typical 5 pound dumbbell and a couple resistance bands. I also liked the site because Jake doesn't really believe in like the cookie cutter program design, so not everyone just gets like clamshells and squats. It's very different and unique to each client that he gets. I also liked that he believes in numbers or data, and that they're key to really seeing progress regarding strength, not just by feel, but actual real numbers. And I feel like that's underrated, and I really appreciated that. Another thing was that Jake is the only physical therapist in his small business. Although some might find that as a downfall, I knew that I would really be able to see a day in the life as a physical therapist and business owner. And I knew I would be able to gain more insight knowing that I had the summer to personally work side by side with Jake. So, as I kind of stated earlier, as Jake is his own business or has his own business, that is also a really big reason as to why I chose this site. I knew that I would get an insight on how it would be to own my own clinic one day, as that is my future goal. He definitely told me a lot of the pros and the cons, the ins and out, and he um, kind of just helped me navigate of what to expect if I were to open my own business one day. Another big thing was that it's very different setting than your typical physical therapy clinic. Being that I've worked at a few outpatient clinics and I've done observation hours, I wanted to make sure that I chose a location that is something that I've never experienced before. So, on to duties and responsibilities. I was in charge of cleaning the treating table, wiping down and putting away gym equipment after patients use them. A really fun part of this was helping Jake record videos for promoting his business online, and I also helped him edit those videos. Um, I checked in patients. I added exercise to his app that he uses as like a physical therapy patient portal for patients at home program. I helped also conduct some strength tests. I conducted workout plans for patients, obviously with Jake's guidance, and he kind of helped me navigate like why I why I should choose this exercise or not. And kind of helped me understand the biomechanics behind every kind of exercise. So now into the specific projects that I participated in. I helped with the formation of strength and conditioning programs for all different off-season athletes. I helped by doing strength tests to get data before program designing, so we kind of get a basis of where their strength is at. I would also always help edit and record lots of photos and videos for his business advertisement. And then we also did an NFL combine where it was an event that we held to kind of promote the gym business and his business, and invited people out to do a little challenge of bench pressing, vertical jumps, broad jumps, shuttle run, etc. And they kind of got a prize, and their prize was either like a week free gym membership pass or a free session with Jake. So that was pretty cool. Talking about my time as an intern specifically, I would do a lot of observing, and which to me I actually really enjoyed because I got to understand why Jake did what he did and really get an understanding as to the kind of reasoning as to why he made the decisions he did with each patient. So, for example, in image one onto the left side, you can see that we have an ACL patient, and Jake would start by evaluating the patient's injury and performing some kind of manual therapy, whether that's massage, scraping, or cupping, kind of depending on what the patient needed during that specific session. And after the manual therapy, we would go into exercises in which Jake would use what he saw during that assessing and manual therapy and create some unique exercises that, again, the patient needed that specific session. So, for example, we did unilateral lunges with this patient because he was having a lot of stiffness with knee flexion. And this exercise does obviously include knee flexion and extension, but it's really focusing on that flexion because of the cable that's at the bottom there. And that's how all of his exercises would go, which I thought was pretty unique. So I wanted to add just a few pictures of like what it looked like as a day-to-day. So obviously that's just Jake and I in the middle, but on the left he was working with a patient who had some rotator cuff issues, so kind of just strengthening those. And then again, our ACL patient onto the right. So this is a slide that I really wanted to add into this PowerPoint because I was very fond of it. I really liked that his evaluations with new patients always included some strength data where they would get an idea of, okay, this arm is weaker than my other, or my left leg is stronger than my right, or I had some injury and it's clearly not back to where it should be. These would kind of help people or convince people that, hey, this, my strength is obviously down. I do need help. And he would use this equipment for every type of strength tests, a lot of them. It would give you numbers through his phone too. So it was really small, like compact equipment, but also very, very effective. And I have never seen an equipment like this, and I thought it was super cool. I also wanted to include a video of my day-to-day and kind of show you guys the different type of exercises that I would see. As the video is going to continue on playing, you can see that they're very different, unique exercises that you wouldn't see at a typical clinic. I very much appreciated this because it was kind of like you never knew what to expect that day. It was always different. We would also sometimes focus on some more strength-based, and we would also do retesting of some of the strength tests that we would do during evaluation to kind of see how much they have grown strength-wise, which was pretty helpful in terms of showing proof to patients, and they actually saw data that were like, okay, I am growing, I am doing better. Now, talking about certifications that I will need for my career path. Currently, I do have my certification in BLS, first aid, and bloodborne pathogens. I will need to take my CS certification. That's strength and conditioning. And I also want to do it's not a must, but I want to get my dry needling certification to also incorporate that with the type of patients I would like to work with one day. On to my future plans. I am currently applying to DPT school for fall of 2026. And if I get in, I plan to finish that within the 3 years and get a job with Jake SOUVA as an actual physical therapist. He mentioned that he would like to grow his business and would love to have me on his team after I finish school, which is pretty cool. I obviously also plan to take the CSCS certification exam, as I said previously, just so I can work with athletes as both a physical therapist and a strength coach. And eventually, maybe, hopefully, I also want to open my own physical therapy business. Again, focusing on athletes with injuries just looking to get back to their sport. So, my advice to KINE 100 students is that it is okay to feel overwhelmed or even behind when you think about your future career. I still feel like that, and I'm almost about to graduate. I don't think it ever goes away. That being said, just know you're not alone. The future is not a straight paved road. So make sure you ask questions and seek help when you're unsure, because there has always been someone who has been down that road before or who has been in your shoes before. Um, Also, make sure you always strive to be better and to learn or do more to kind of set yourself apart from others. So, always kind of just go that extra mile for your future career, because at the end of the day, you're doing it for you. And lastly, is just get involved, put yourself out there when it comes to your major by either joining groups, attending events, and just getting to know your professors. And that was my experience with my internship at SOUVA Physical Therapy and Performance. Thank you for listening.